Hello everyone! Welcome back to another 2v2 battle. Oh my god, it's so weird how these things just follow the camera. It freaks me out, because everything's in slow motion, but the head tracks the camera in real time, and so it's like this weird... Man, it's so weird. Alright, so anyway, this is the We as Gobbos build, but slightly different because I have an Orc War Boss leading them. I'm playing with Surreal, who brought the Empire, and we are fighting against the Chaos and another Imperial faction. So my army, we as Gobbos, we have 5 Goblin Spearmen, we have 2 Chaos Trolls, an Arachnarok Spider, 3 Goblin Archers, a Forest Goblin Spider Rider, a Doom Diver Catapult, Night Goblin Shaman. There you are, right there. And of course, like I said, the Orc War Boss on a Wyvern. So I brought him specifically because, well, the leader for the We as Gobbos build is just the Goblin Shaman, and he's not like that strong, so I just need... Like, I wish this was a goblin that could mount a wyvern. That'd be pretty sweet. I'd do that totally, but you can't, so I wanted to try this. But we also have 2 Night Goblin Fanatics over here in the back corner, because it's not a We as Gobbos build without some kind of Night Goblins. And then over here, same thing, 2 Goblin Wolf Riders, because you can't have Gobbos without Wolf Riders. So I only have 2 of them. I usually bring like 3. For Surreal, we have 2 Empire Captains. We have a Hellstorm Rocket Battery, a couple of Halberdiers. We have 2 Crossbows, 2 Handgunners. I was going to call them Thunderers. We have multiple Spearmen. We have a General... Oh, no, we have Boris Todbringer. I'm sorry, he brought Boris Todbringer, who looks pretty cool. I still need to unlock him by playing the Kazarak campaign. We also have an Amber Wizard who will be summoning a Manticore, a Greatsword on the flank, and then these Demigryph Knights with Halberds going off to the flank as well. For our enemy, I guess I should keep this slow down. We have 2 of these steam tanks, multiple spears, multiple crossbows. We have a General of the Empire, a Light Wizard, and then over here we have an Amber Wizard mounted on a Pegasus and an Imperial Knight. For the Chaos player, kind of an odd build here. I support the Chaos Hounds, though. You have 5 Chaos Warhounds with poison. We have an Exalted Hero, Archaon the Everchosen, Chaos Spawn, which against most Goblin units in the game are going to do exceptionally well against any and all Goblins. 2 Hell Cannon. Yeah, 2 Hell Cannons. You have 2 Marauders with great weapons, and then a Chosen with Halberds. A very unique build. I don't really see this build off. Like, no one brings Warhounds, really, so I was really excited to see that. We have already gotten nailed with the Trolls here, so that's why they are wavering, but they will come back. They just have very low leadership. In the very beginning here, I'm sending off our Orc War Boss, Garish, to try and kill this Amber Wizard, who is now going to withdraw. I do have healing potions, so I'm not really worried about absorbing some of this crossbow fire, as our Doom Diver Catapults are just massacring these crossbows, along with the Hellstorm Rocket Batteries over here, getting into these spears and the crossbows behind them. Army is fast approaching. The steam tanks, they're okay against the We as Gobbos build, as long as they are focusing on killing the Trolls and the Arachnarok Spider. And they have definitely been focusing on the Trolls, which is a good call for them. The Chaos Warhounds here are going to be giving us a charge on our flank, so we're just going to meet them with our Goblins and our Trolls and our Arachnarok Spider. Meanwhile, our War Boss is over there still chasing the Amber Wizard. Here come the Knights of Surreal, the Demigryph Knights. Over there, I cast a Curse of the Big Bad Moon, which actually started hitting this group and then went down the line of these Spearmen, which, so like, it did pretty well. It does catch our Goblin Wolf Riders who do a rear charge against, I don't know why I charged Chaos Spawn. No, I think I was charging these crossbows. So I was trying to knock out the crossbows, but the Chaos Spawn are nearby attacking us as well. So our Goblin Wolf Riders come in from the back and get into the General and his crossbows to try and tear him down. Goblin Wolf Rider is just an amazing unit, and I think overlooked a lot. Over here, my Tar Pit unit of Goblins are now holding back an Imperial Knight group, while my Goblin Archers are just raining fire. Goblin Archers have very low damage, but against such a concentration of it is going to eventually get through the Imperial Knights. Meanwhile, my Goblin Big Boss that I forgot to talk about is mounted on a Spider trying to take out a Steam Tank, along with some group of Goblins. My War Boss is going to get back into here with these crossbows to assist the Goblin Wolf Riders who are getting turned away by the General. And I think my other group got routed by this Chaos Spawn. So I charged them in and I didn't notice the Spawn were attacking them, so it was kind of bad on my part. But Garish is over here to try and finish the job, mounted on his Wyvern. So he should do pretty well against that. The Imperial Knights we are just destroying with those concentrated Goblin Fire, as our Trolls are trying to push through these Spearmen along with our Goblins to try to get into these Steam Tanks, because we need some armor piercing to get on those. Meanwhile, I'm going to be sending another group of Goblin Spears to just kind of tar pit the Steam Tank as we try to do what damage we can. Over here, my Ragnarok is going to be assisting the fight with Surreal, so we'll get to that one later. My Goblin Warfighters coming back, and finally my Night Goblins are making it onto the field. They had a long way to go. I wanted to get into the crossbow, so they had to pass the Chaos player. So now my Garish Tokehammer War Boss there is going to be getting into the Chaos spawn, holding them off, as our Night Goblins are going to finish the job against these crossbows. There's their Amber Wizard flying overhead. Our Goblin Wolffighters came back as well, so they're going to assist in that endeavor. Trolls over here fighting off some more Imperial Warriors, including the General and the Spearmen. Not a good fight for them. They're going to actually get pushed back because of the Spearmen anti-large damage. And you can see a lot of my units over here. This steam tank ended up charging into my Goblin Archers, which kind of like immediately routed them, so they are currently charging us. Our units will come back, and we will get to do a counter charge here in just a moment. You can see that we are not really inflicting too much damage on these steam tanks because goblins are, you know, not well suited for that. That's more of an Ragnarok thing, but I was over here assisting Surreal. But the Ragnarok would have been perfect to actually take out the steam tanks, but it is now trying to kill a Celestial Wizard, or sorry, a Light Wizard instead, which it does pretty well at that. My Orc War Boss is going to be sent against the steam tanks here shortly as we finish up these crossbows. I think these are crossbows, right? Yeah. Over here, my Night Goblins are into these Chaos Spawn, which is not actually a really good fight for them, but they were nearby, so I was like, why not? Let's just do some damage on these Chaos Spawn. There goes my Orc War Boss against the Steam Tank. He does have high armor piercing damage, so he's going to do pretty well in this fight. It's very easy to hit the Steam Tank because of his very, very low melee defense. It just has a very high armor. That's why you really need high armor piercers to take it out. This Steam Tank has suffered a lot of damage from the Doomdiver catapults, which we've been targeting for a long time. This whole time, I was keeping my 4 Spider Riders. You can see they're moving out just now. I kept them back to try and cover the 2 artillery pieces back here because they had so many Chaos Hounds. But as you can see, the Chaos Hounds never really made it back here. So now I'm going to finally send them up to the fight as we are kind of nearing the end here. But that's what they were doing back there. It was just going to be a force to protect those artillery. But I ended up not really needing them. Over here, we get some more reinforcements with the Goblin Wolf Riders to try and finish off these Chaos Spawn. They have taken a lot of damage, which is lucky for us, so we can actually have a chance of finishing them off with the Night Goblin and the Wolf Riders. Over here, we are still working on the second Steam Tank. You can see we've done some decent amount of damage with the Orc War Boss. The Imperial Knights came in to charge one more time, but they got pushed away by the Trolls, which also have armor-piercing damage. So they do pretty well against the Imperial Knights. This Amber Wizard is going to be shattered off by the handgunners and quarrelers of Surreal. Or crossbowmen, sorry. I keep calling all handgunners Thunderers and all crossbowmen quarrelers. I don't know why. I guess I enjoy like the dwarf units more. I have no idea. Over here, the rest of the Imperial Army is shattering, so all that's going to leave for them is going to be the Chaos Spawn over here, which are unbreakable. And then the Steam Tank, which is about to fall due to the handgunner fire and my Orc War Boss. So yeah, we're just wrapping up the remaining unbreakable units, including these Hell Cannons. And there you go, the Spawn are dead, and now it's just up to the cannons. So let's check this fight out and see how it went for Surreal. Woo! Those Spearmen got lucky. Well, I mean, this one didn't. But for the most part, they got lucky. Uh-oh. Alright, still kind of getting lucky. Not a direct hit yet. Okay, that probably hurt. Yeah, those crossbows they are not getting back up. Jeez, okay. Yep. Those Spearmen probably aren't getting back up either. God, one hit taking out one of the Hellstorm Rocket Batters. When those Hell Cannons land, they really do hit. They really do hit pretty hard. Anyway, here come those Chaos Warhounds into the side of my army. And you can see my Orc War Boss chasing off the Amber Wizard over there. So they do get the charge bonus off, which doesn't help me at all, but you know how this fight goes. We do turn them away. The Demigryph Knights and some Halberdiers are going to be coming in along with these Spearmen, I think the Spearmen and Halberdiers engage them too. There go the Demigryph Knights. We have a Flaming Skull being dropped on by Archeon. I missed this during the battle. See how much damage it does. it didn't really do that much. The Flaming Skull would do really well. It would do better against the trolls, just because they have regeneration. Any unit that has regeneration is, I believe, typically takes more fire damage. I don't think there's any exception to that. I don't think. Maybe there is. This is kind of a chaotic battle for Surreal here at first, just because they are engaging with a very mobile Chaos Warhounds, so he's kind of all over the place. But over here, we are finishing off one of the groups of Chaos Warhounds as my army engages against the Imperial player, and Surreal's army is going to continue to march forward towards the remaining of the Chaos Warriors. My Ragnarok, I think, gets into fighting maybe Archaon with these Immigrant Knights. I kind of forget what I did with the spider. Here we go, the charge from the Immigrant Knights trying to take out this Hell Cannon, which has done a lot of damage, actually. We also have good old Boris Toddbringer in here. From the Amber Wizard, we have Pan's Impenetrable Pelt being dropped down to give them all damage resistance and increased speed. Here's also the Manticore from the Amber Wizard. So with all of these units combined, even Archaon is going to have kind of a tough time fighting against all these units, especially the Immigrant Knights and Halberds, because he is on a mount right now. So they have more bonus damage to him because of his large size. Oh, these poor puppies. Actually, they have... I don't know if the Hell Cannon did this or if it was just the puppies alone that brought down this Halberd unit, but that's pretty good. That's actually really good. But the second Halberd unit and the Demigryph Knights are going to kind of turn this battle as they charge in. So there you go, the puppies are going to be forced to retreat as the Hellstorm Rocket Battery is starting to fire at the Chosen, I think? Yeah. Hellstorm isn't as good against the heavily armored Chosen, but it still does damage. And it's also hitting some of those Marauders, which is really good. Over here, Archaon continues to fall against the Manticore and the nearby Spearmen. We also have the two Imperial Captains here along with Boris. This is a lot of heroes for Archaon to deal with. I don't think he has any units over in this part of the field. Yeah, he's just focused over here. So yeah, Archaon just taking a lot of damage. This Exalted Bodyguard, though, is barely getting hit at all. Here come the Chosen finally, along with the Chaos Marauders to try and bring down this Manticore. These units, well, the Trojan should do really well against the Manticore. Like, bring it down pretty quickly. Meanwhile, these Marauders are trying to get through to save their Lord, Archaon, who's already just taken a huge beating. But they have very low morale, and they've already suffered a lot of damage, so you can see they are actually going to rout here. The concentrated fire from the crossbows back here assists in that a lot. Since these are the great weapon variants, they don't even have shields to block, and the Marauders only have 15 armor, so they are so susceptible to crossbow fire. It's not even funny. Like, they just melt under any type of concentrated crossbow fire. Just keep that in mind. That's why it's kind of hard to run Chaos Marauders, because they kind of suck. I'm just going to put that out there. They kind of suck. They have way too low armor to and too low leadership to really hold anything, and they're too expensive to really be a tar pit unit, and they're not even a good tar pit unit. Anyway, they just kind of suck. Just to put it bluntly. Anyway, here come my Night Goblins to assist with the Chosen. We're trying to apply poison damage on them so we can lower their stats, so that we and the Halberdiers can take them out. Meanwhile, the Ragnarok was getting into Archaon and the Exalted Hero. I think Archaon is running at this point. Yeah. Archaon has shattered, because all of his units have taken a lot of damage. The Exalted Hero, though, kind of just barely got touched. He's just gonna go with the flow, though, and be like, okay, I mean, if we're retreating, I mean, I guess that I'm cool with that. I'll retreat as well. But that is when the rest of the army shatters, because those Warhounds, which was the bulk of their army, just got cleaned up over here by the Demigryph Knights, and of course these Halberdiers. And that was like half their army gone, so they already were suffering morale penalties due to lack of friendlies. And they were so low in numbers that they were usually surrounded, so they just had a lot of leadership penalties going against them, which made them shatter kind of quickly. I mean, you kind of know how the rest of this battle goes. Yeah, so an odd choice of a build for the Chaos player, but I fully support it. If you're going to bring a bunch of puppies, I'm down. I'm down with the idea. It's just, they just got countered by Halberdiers and Demigryph Knights. But Demigryph Knights counter anything and everything. But good game to my opponents and to Surreal. Let's take a look at the kill counts. I love bringing the Gobbos build. I love goblins. I want more goblin units added. I want an armor-piercing goblin unit. That may be too much. That may be too crazy. But that's what I want. Because if the goblins had some kind of armor-piercer unit, then, or like an anti-large unit, for that matter, If they had, if goblins had halberds, all right, then you can actually do a true goblin build without having to supplement their build with like trolls or even an Ragnarok spider, because you got to bring these things, including this orc war boss, because the goblins by themselves suck at any kind of cav and at anything that has more than like 30 armor. They're terrible at it, but they're still really cool. That's why you had to bring the trolls though, because trolls are armor piercing. The Ragnarok can murder large creatures and armored creatures. The orc war boss on the wyvern can do the same thing, which is exactly why I brought them. But man, if goblins had a halberdier unit, boom, done. It would just be nothing but actual goblins. No trolls, no spiders, just gobbos. Anyway, the goblins I think overall did pretty well. I'm seeing, except for the Ragnarok. That thing can get a lot more kills in this ideal situation. I kind of mismicroed it though. I didn't give it that much to do other than fight Archeon, and it fought some Warhounds. So it was kind of a waste, honestly. The Forest Goblin Spider Riders sat back to protect the Doomdiver Catapult, but they didn't get any kills. That thing got 127 though, which is pretty exciting. For Surreal, his Hellstorm Rocket Battery got 112. Demigryph Knights got 138, and still were almost at full HP, so that's about normal. Empire Captains, I think, did okay. Boar's Topbringer, 38 kills, full health, pretty good. Amber Wizard, 3 kills. The Manticore, I wish it would show on this just to see what it does, but it doesn't show summon units. Spearmen, they held the line, so that's good. The Halberdiers, this one got shut down by... I'm guessing this is the one that got shut down by the Chaos Warhounds, I think. And this one was untouched with 87 kills, which is really good. Great Swords did okay. Corlers and Handgunners, I think, did pretty okay. For our enemy here, Archeon, 16 kills. Not the highest Archeon could get, but he was fighting mostly heroes. Same thing with Exalted Hero. These Marauders just got murdered. They weren't able to do anything. Same thing with the Chosen. They just got surrounded and poisoned, and the heroes, like, they didn't have enough support. Chosen are strong, but they still need some kind of support around them. Warhounds got some kills, but they just got massacred. Chaos Spawn did pretty well, and this one Hell Cannon did really well. I'm assuming this one got shut down when Surreal charged initially with the Demigryph Knights, but this one, 144 kills, is no laughing matter. And for the enemy Imperial player, Spearline did okay. Crossbows got shut down by the Goblins, Wolf Riders for the most part, and Garish, our Orc War Boss. Steam Tanks did really good. They got a ton of kills against Goblins, but still were brought down. Imperial Knights got tar pitted by a Goblin unit and then destroyed by Goblin Archers, so they weren't really used to their full capabilities. So yeah, anyway, good game to my opponents. Hope you enjoyed. The Wii is Gobbos. I love this build. I think it's honestly one of my favorite builds in the game. I just want them to have little Goblin Halberds, and then I would be set. That's it. That's the only DLC unit I want in this game. Goblin Halberdiers. Make it happen, CA. Leave your suggestions below on what you would like to see, and I hope you all have a very good day. Take care, everybody.